All right, what's going on, you guys? So I'm finally doing this. This is going to be the first video in the What the Hell is This series for Path of Exile. I've been meaning to make these for quite some time. After playing for almost 10,000 hours, there's a lot of things that I wish I would have known when I first started playing, or that a lot of people don't fully understand, because this game is very much throw you to the wolves and you kind of figure it out and do your own research. So in an effort to make that a little less painful for people in the POE community, especially new players, I wanted to make this video series, so I hope you enjoy. This is going to be the first video, and we are going to be touching on Ascendancies. Now, what Ascendancies are these specialized nodes that come off of your individual character. Each character has their own list of Ascendancies, and we won't get into the specific ones. This is going to be more so about how you go about getting them and why it is important, what it is, why you want to complete them, where to find the trials, etc. So, the first time you will encounter actually being able to do the trials is going to be in Act 3, and this is where you go. You go to this Aspirants Plaza. Now, there are individual nodes that you need to find throughout the acts. So as you're leveling, you'll run into little areas that have this same symbol. This little symbol up here, it looks like a little skull kind of with frills coming off of it in certain areas. So, for example, the first one is going to be in the lower prison in Act 1. So if we go back to Act 1, we go to the lower prison. All right. So when you enter into this area, there will be a little node on the right-hand side here that will notify you like, hey, there's a trial of Ascendancy in this area. So when you see that as you're going through, just keep an eye on your UI. So on the right side, you will see a little thing that says solve the trial of Ascendancy in this area. And that happens automatically. You don't have to have seen it. You don't have to have anything. The second you enter into the zone, that will be displayed for you to know, oh, here's this trial that I have to go find. Now, the trials contain random little traps. It's like a little maze, little puzzle. You go through, you do the puzzle, and that's it. You touch the altar at the end, it lights up, and you have that trial. Now, there's a couple of these throughout the game, and they get more and more harder, so these are going to be a consistent thing that you find as you level. So once you have all of the trials, this will open up for you. You'll come, and you'll be able to touch this. So this is the Aspirants Plaza. So you'll come up here, and here's the symbol again. So this is the Labyrinth Activation device. You just touch it, and this is what shows you the individual trials at the individual difficulties. Now, there's also level requirements for these. They're not requirements. You can do them early, you can do them late, but doing them early is difficult because Azaro, which you guys will see in the video in a second, can be pretty dangerous. So once you get the lower prison in Act 1, the crypt in level 2, the Chamber of Sins in Act 2, the Crematorium in Act 3, the Catacombs in Act 3, and the Imperial Gardens in Act 3. Once you receive all of those, you do the little trials you find in the environment, it'll allow you to select this. The same thing goes for Cruel, Merciless, and your Eternal Labyrinth is a little different, and we will get to that. So once you do that, you activate to enter in, and this is essentially a maze with the similar traps that you found in the trial, and you'll run through, and you will fight Azaro. We'll just kind of speed through this really fast. Okay, so as you're going through, you will find these doors, the Aspirants Trial. Now, in order to kind of find your way through the maze, you can click on these, right? These layouts get more and more complicated the longer and the further into the game you get. So your normal lab is pretty easy. It's pretty straightforward. It's 1, maybe 2 rooms in between the boss. As you get more and more advanced with your Cruel and Merciless, they get more advanced, more intricate, more traps, more interactions, but we'll keep this as basic as possible. You go into the Aspen's Trial, and you will fight Azaro in 3 phases. The first phase, you'll come up, open up the door, step towards the middle of the room, and this will open him, right? Now, each one will have little bonuses that make the fight more difficult, but we're kind of over level for this. And once you do enough damage, he kind of pops back down. If I can stop freezing him. So he'll make a little statement, he'll rush back towards the center, and he will disappear. And you have cleared the first portion. So you'll do that 3 times, and once you do that, you'll see these little portals. Now, if you do not damage the portals, you will get an extra treasure key, right? But going through your first time, just get him down as fast as possible. So anyway, once you do that first fight, you'll go back through and you'll do that 2 more times. So we'll just kind of skip through in the video editing. Okay, so here we are. Here's trial number 2. So after you kind of go through the maze, and it's usually different every time, the biggest benefit and the easiest way to do this is always head towards the top right. The top right, like 80% of the time, is going to be the door that you need. So just head towards that, and if it's not, just continue around counterclockwise on the map, and you'll eventually find the doors that you need. So here's time number 2. And as you can see, the stuff that comes up to assist Azaro is different in each phase, and these either add difficulty or subtract difficulty away from the final fight.
You are inexhaustible.
Alright, and once you do enough damage, again, he will run towards the center. He'll give you some valuable words of wisdom. So there was the second one. Now the third and final one is where usually the most difficult. It's got the most traps and the most everything. So we'll go ahead and just sprint through this. As you can see, I'm just kind of heading towards the top right. You will find puzzle rooms and stuff in here. If you find a curious lockbox, that will give you an additional treasure key. If you find a labyrinthian trove, that will give you an extra chest that you can open right away in the game. So as you can see, it's getting a little bit more complicated towards the end. So we had 1 room boss, 2 rooms boss, and now we have 2 with some spin-off rooms before the final Azaro fight. Okay, and here we are. Now, one thing that you will note is there are portals and things in the corners of the room. This designates what you have done in the previous rooms. If you have all 3 of them, you will drop another key. If you have just 2, you will not. So adjust the difficulty as needed. As you kill these, it makes it easier or harder in the final one, but you need all 3 in each Azaro fight to survive or make it through or meet the relative conditions in order to get the extra treasure key. Which, for your normal cruel, not really a big deal. It starts becoming more of a big deal to do full key runs and stuff like that when you're higher level, but as a basic entry, don't worry about that. Just get in and kill Azaro. As you can see, there's more trap stuff going on in here, but we're gonna melt him pretty quick. Alright, so when you kill Azaro, he will drop some loot and treasure keys. This is what enables you to open up chests in the Ascendancy chamber. So here we are. Here's the Ascendancy chamber. You can only open as many chests as you have treasure keys. Okay, so we'll just open up a random chest and you get some loot out of it. So the most important thing to note is to make sure to come up over here to the Altar of Ascendancy. Now, when you click on this, it will allow you to choose one of 3 Ascendancies, right? And for this one, since I've already done this, I chose Deadeye, and that's essentially what ascending is. You do that 3 times. Each time you do it, you get 2 of these special Ascendancy skill points, right? That give you very, very powerful things and kind of refine your play style from your character. So as a ranger, you can do melee, you can do dodge, you can do all sorts of stuff. So once you find a build that you like, and I have a bunch of build guides that you guys can look at, I'll put that around here somewhere if you want to look at build guides. But these nodes give your character insane amounts of specialization and insane amounts of power. For instance, Gathering Wind gives me 10% more speed. Just more, which is crazy. So they give you these special skill points. So as you do, you'll do your normal, your cruel, your merciless, and then your uber. So you'll have 8 total, and that is what you and how you go about ascending. Another thing of note is the divine font. Now, what this allows you to do is it allows you to put special implicit modifiers on your gloves. Don't worry about that too much at the lower levels, but that will become more relevant as you get into the Merciless and the Uber Lab, because there are some very, very valuable things that you can put onto your helmet and your boots that make it very, very much so worth your while. So that's it, guys. That is pretty much the point of Ascendance. We went over what it is, and if you want to know specifically where each one is, I'll put this up for you guys. These are the locations. So if you ever have any questions about anything, you can always go to the wiki. But for your normal, cruel, and merciless, these are the ones that you will find as you are progressing through the 10 acts. there are the locations, what to expect, what to do. And you can always just pull up the wiki and look at Trials of Ascendancy, POE wiki, and it'll come up on Google. So those are the locations. Again, as you're leveling through the acts, just make sure to keep an eye out on the top right-hand side. It'll tell you if there are one of these in the area, and then you just explore a little bit more to find them. So that's what ascending is. So we touched on what ascending is. We touched on where to find them. And the reason why you want to do this is because it gives you specialization for your character and makes them exponentially more powerful. It gives you a lot of viability, a lot of different choices to make on how you personally want to play your character, because at the end of the day, PoE has pretty much infinite options, so it all comes down to what you enjoy and how you want to play the game, and that kind of determines what ascendancies you'll choose. Now, there's all sorts of build guides and all sorts of stuff, and again, I'll put those up around here somewhere, as well as down in the description, a link to my build guides section where I have a bunch of videos on random build guides, so you can look through those and find something you like. But that's why you want to complete them. It makes your character more powerful, and it helps you progress, and it just makes the game more enjoyable and more specialized to you personally. So what it is, where to find them, why you want to complete them, because they're super good, and that will conclude the first video of the What the Hell Is This series. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll be putting out more videos regarding this. Our next one is going to be explaining the Atlas and some of the end game content, which is another thing that doesn't make a lot of sense as a new player and could use some more in-depth kind of explanations so that you can make sure to enjoy PoE and the awesome community to its fullest. Thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate you being here. I do this 100% for fun. Like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff if you guys would like, but I do this in order to make PoE more enjoyable for new players and to bring new people into the community. So thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.